Hello, I'm Xander, and today I just wanted to give my polling opinions on our favorite theater kid. That is Roccia. I'll go ahead and clarify now, these are not calculations or optimizations, these are just my personal thoughts on it, and if she's worth your pulls. So firstly, I'll go ahead and said, unless you really like her and her character, go ahead and get her if you really want her. This is just a video on for people that are undecided if they want her or not. So first, she isn't bad at all, but her main issues come from the fact sanha exists. It is a 4-star that we all get for free, and is easily to attain the cons. So that instantly makes the choice difficult if you have her S6 especially, cause that's 70 up to 150 pulls for a slight upgrade only for a few teams. And the only real upgrade she's giving is some havoc damage bonus, and some more grouping, and slightly less basic attack damage buffing, and a little bit of attack. But Insanwa on the other hand, has really fast field time, good buffs, good concern on energy regen, and she's really easy to build compared to Roccia's many things you have to factor into her build. And Roccia seems to only have 2 useful teammates as in Camellia and Havoc Rover, and everyone else if they like basic attack will usually prefer Sanhua because the Havoc buff is wasted on a non-Havoc user. All she has is the grouping and the little bit of flat attack, which can be better in the future but for now really doesn't do much because in the new wave of the endgame modes, the waves of enemies aren't very grouped out, to the point that usually Camellia cannot usually reach them all. Now in the future this might change, but I feel this won't ever get too bad, except on Havoc floors itself, to make it so Roccia is good. But with how Wua does endgame, this might change in the future, because their endgame they like to tailor it to a certain type of element. So say in an electric and fusion floor, the enemies won't be very grouped out, but say future and Havoc and wind floors, the enemies will be grouped out to benefit Camellia, Roccia, and Gion since they all have higher AoE than everyone else. So when you have these characters, it feels better to clear those four specifically and it feels like you're getting reward, and to make you want to pull them more obviously. But then again, Roccia loses even more value there because Camellia's AoE is almost always enough. And even how the big Roccia's AoE is, her grouping doesn't even go as far as it feels, only the travel cyclone does. The portable cyclone isn't as great, I'd say. It's, especially for Camellia, it doesn't feel that great. And then her other buffs still aren't the strongest as it is just in havoc damage and lower basic attack damage and some attack. But the problem with this attack, it is not added to the resonator, it is a base attack. So that means it's just 200 attack at base. You don't get it added to the multipliers of your resonator, which is kinda sucks a little. But Insanwa on the other hand, her attack buffing can be slightly higher and can actually go off the character some. Not much, but it can, and it can usually go higher than Roccia's, and her basic attack buffing is higher and faster field time. So it becomes a problem of which do you like more. And Roccia's kid makes it so she's very risky to play on field if you don't do it right. One interruption, that's a reset because you messed up a thingy. Compared to Sanhua, which you switch into, skill, switch out, build outro for your healer, switch back into, skill, hold basic attack again, and then switch out and then you're done. It is very fast and very quick. And another big con on Roccia in my eyes, which I don't feel enough people are talking about, to even get this 200 attack buff at the base, you have to have 70 crit rate on Roccia, which one of her biggest selling points a lot of people are saying that make up for this lack of lower field time is the fact she can do damage. But without her signature, or Shangli Yao's signature as a replacement, her damage is a lot less since you are looking for so much crit rate and they have to sacrifice a lot of crit damage in the first place. So her damage becomes less, and then that field time people are talking about saying, oh, she does damage in it, it is a lot less and it feels a lot less valuable when you could have more time on your main field DPS. Compared to Sanhua, you can basically run just on the set, nothing upgraded, and she does the job the exact same. And also her weapon can also build concerto energy, like overturn and that. Compared to Roccia, you usually never want to run a weapon like that because then you lose out a lot of damage. But then it gets even weirder. You either have to sacrifice a lot of field time for not much damage and just the buffs, or either you have to sacrifice even more pulls to make it feel better so you could play her with the damage to get the buffs. So it's even worse in that case that you have to invest a lot, and her signature isn't very sharing. It only works on her. If you have Yao's signature, her pull value goes up a lot more, I'd say, but it's still very So sadly in my eyes, with all these cons, she loses a lot of value, especially to the fact, just to get her, without her signature, it could be 70 to 150 pulls, which is a lot for someone that is casual or free to play and doesn't spend. And then if you want her to feel really good, you have to pull her signature or have Yowls, which is another 70 pulls. It's better if you have Yowls, but of course not everyone does, since not everyone pulled it. So I really just don't recommend pulling her. Unless you really like her, or really want to buff your Camellia, I don't recommend pulling her, especially if you have an S6 Sanhua, and especially if you have an S6 Sanhua that's already built very well to do decent damage. Then I'd see there really isn't much value into pulling her other than you really like her, or something like that. And Sanhua's getting a really good skin soon, why would you want to replace her, you know? But thanks for watching, I hope this helped any thoughts you had, any undecisive decisions you may have had about pulling her or not. I hope this did help. And if you do pick her up, enjoy her. If you don't, have fun saving. And thank you for watching. I wouldn't mind if you liked and subbed. And bye.